Imagine being 157 years old, but when people see you, they swear you're 21, no wrinkles, no sagging skin, no tired eyes, just sharp features, glowing skin, and the energy of someone decades younger. People stare, some even think the photos are edited, but they're not. This is real. And the man behind this unbelievable transformation is Chuando Tan, a photographer, a model, and one of the most talked about ageless faces on the internet. When his photos first went viral, millions of people had the exact same reaction. How is this even possible? But here's the twist. It's not just genetics, it's not magic, and it's definitely not luck. According to Chuando himself, there are 5 specific foods he refuses to eat, and he believes avoiding them plays a huge role in why he still looks so young. Today, we're diving deep into the habits, the mindset, and the diet secrets that keep him looking decades younger than his age. And trust me, some of these foods might already be sitting in your kitchen right now. When people first discover Chuando Tan, they usually assume he's in his 20s. The smooth skin, lean muscles, and youthful glow make it almost impossible to believe he was born in 1966. But Chuando didn't suddenly wake up one day looking like this. His lifestyle choices started decades ago. Before he became a photographer, he worked as a model in the 1980s and 1990s. Back then, appearance was part of his career. But while many models eventually fade from the spotlight and age like everyone else, Chuando went in the opposite direction. As the years passed, he somehow started looking even better. What makes his story fascinating is how simple many of his habits are. He doesn't claim to have a secret miracle pill. He doesn't promote extreme diets or expensive anti-aging treatments. Instead, he focuses on consistency. The same small choices repeated every day for years. And one of the biggest factors he talks about is what he refuses to eat. The first food he avoids is sugary foods and desserts. Sugar is one of the biggest enemies of youthful skin. When you eat too much sugar, something called glycation happens in the body. This process damages collagen and elastin, the two proteins responsible for keeping skin firm and smooth. Once collagen breaks down, wrinkles start forming. Skin loses its elasticity. The face begins to sag. Chuando understands this very well, which is why he rarely eats candy, pastries, cakes, or sugary drinks. He believes that controlling sugar intake is one of the fastest ways to slow visible aging. But here's the interesting part. He doesn't believe in strict suffering or starvation. He still enjoys food. He just chooses smarter options. Instead of sugar-loaded desserts, he prefers natural sources of sweetness, like fruit. This way, his body gets vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber without the damage caused by refined sugar. The second food he avoids is processed junk food. Think about typical fast food meals: burgers loaded with processed meat, deep-fried fries, artificial flavorings, preservatives, and unhealthy oils. These foods cause inflammation inside the body, and inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of aging. Chronic inflammation doesn't just affect your organs, it also shows up on your face: puffy skin, dull complexion, breakouts, and long-term damage to cells. Chuando believes that if you want youthful skin, you need to treat your body like a high-performance machine. That means feeding it clean, whole foods instead of chemical-packed snacks. His regular meals often include chicken, fish, eggs, vegetables, rice, and plenty of water. Simple foods, nothing fancy, but incredibly effective over time. Another surprising habit of Chuando Tan is how seriously he takes sleep. Many people chasing success sacrifice sleep, but Chuando believes this is one of the worst mistakes you can make for your health and appearance. He reportedly goes to bed early and avoids staying up late whenever possible. When you sleep, your body enters repair mode. Skin cells regenerate, hormones rebalance, stress levels drop. Without enough sleep, your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone that accelerates aging and damages collagen. You've probably noticed how your face looks after a night of poor sleep. Dark circles, dull skin, and tired eyes appear almost instantly. Now imagine repeating that damage for years. That's why Chuando protects his sleep like it's part of his anti-aging routine. Exercise is another major part of his lifestyle. But again, his approach is surprisingly balanced. He doesn't spend every waking moment in the gym. Instead, he focuses on regular strength training combined with simple cardio. Building muscle is extremely important as we age. After the age of 30, most people begin losing muscle mass every year. This slows metabolism, reduces energy levels, and contributes to a weaker, older looking body. By maintaining muscle through consistent workouts, Chwando keeps his metabolism high and his body strong. The result isn't just a lean physique, it's also better posture, stronger bones, and improved circulation that helps keep skin healthy. Another thing people often overlook is hydration. Water might sound boring compared to fancy skincare products, but it's one of the most powerful anti aging tools available. Skin cells need water to function properly. Dehydrated skin looks dull, rough, and aged. Chwando makes sure he drinks plenty of water throughout the day to keep his body and skin functioning at their best. But perhaps the most important lesson from Chwando Tan's lifestyle is discipline over time. Anyone can follow a healthy routine for a week, or even a month. The real difference comes from maintaining those habits for decades. Every meal, every night of sleep, every workout. Those small decisions slowly shape the way your body ages. And here's something that might surprise you. Chwando has mentioned that he tries to avoid extreme stress. Whenever possible, stress is one of the fastest ways to age the body. High stress levels increase cortisol, disrupt sleep, damage skin, and accelerate cellular aging. That's why he focuses on maintaining a balanced life rather than constantly pushing himself to exhaustion. By now, you might be wondering about the remaining foods he refuses to eat, the ones he believes play a huge role in protecting his youthful appearance. Because while sugar and junk food are obvious culprits, the next few items might surprise you even more, and the reason he avoids them might completely change the way you look at your daily diet. But before we dive into those, it's important to understand something deeper about Chwando Tan's philosophy on aging. He doesn't see aging as something you fight with expensive creams or cosmetic procedures. Instead, he sees it as something you influence through daily biological choices. Everything you eat, drink, and do sends signals to your body about how to repair itself. Some foods accelerate aging by increasing inflammation, damaging collagen, or disrupting hormones. Others slow aging by providing nutrients that support cell repair and skin health. Chwando simply chooses to remove the foods that cause damage. And the next two foods on his never eat list might be the ones that shock you the most, because they're extremely common in the American diet, and millions of people eat them every single day without realizing the long-term effect they may have on how fast the body ages. In the next part, we're going to uncover those remaining foods, along with a few unexpected habits that help Chwando Tan maintain the appearance of someone more than 3 decades younger than his real age. So imagine this for a moment. You wake up, look in the mirror, and instead of seeing the slow signs of aging creeping in, you see the same clear skin, sharp jawline, and youthful energy you had decades ago. It sounds impossible, but for Chwando Tan, this has become his reality. And while genetics may give someone a small advantage, the truth is that lifestyle decisions amplify or destroy that advantage over time. In the first part, we talked about 2 foods he avoids: sugar and processed junk food. But the next 3 foods on his list might surprise you even more because they are incredibly common in everyday diets across America. The third food Chwando Tan avoids is excessive dairy products, especially highly processed dairy like sweetened milk drinks, flavored yogurts, and heavy cream-based foods. Now, this doesn't mean dairy is evil for everyone. Some people tolerate it well, but for many adults, dairy can trigger inflammation, acne, and skin irritation. The reason lies in hormones and growth factors naturally present in milk. These compounds can stimulate oil production in the skin, leading to clogged pores and breakouts. Over time, constant inflammation can weaken the skin barrier and accelerate visible aging. Chwando has mentioned in interviews that he prefers lighter, cleaner foods that digest easily and don't burden his system. Instead of relying heavily on dairy, he focuses on protein sources like eggs, fish, and lean meats. These foods provide amino acids that help maintain muscle mass and repair skin tissue. When the body receives the right building blocks, it can maintain collagen production more effectively. And collagen, as you probably know, is one of the most important factors in keeping skin smooth and youthful. The fourth food he limits heavily is deep fried foods. Think about foods like fried chicken, French fries, onion rings, and anything cooked in reused oil. These foods are loaded with oxidized fats and compounds known as advanced glycation end products. These substances create oxidative stress inside the body. Oxidative stress damages cells and accelerates aging at the molecular level. It affects everything from skin elasticity to energy levels and even brain function. Deep frying also introduces unhealthy trans fats that can disrupt circulation and increase inflammation. When blood circulation becomes less efficient, the skin receives fewer nutrients and less oxygen. Over time, this contributes to dullness, sagging, and uneven skin tone. Chwando avoids this by choosing cooking methods like steaming, grilling, or lightly sautéing food instead of deep frying it. These methods preserve nutrients while preventing the formation of harmful compounds. The fifth and final food on his avoidance list is something millions of people drink every day without thinking twice: alcohol, especially in large amounts. Alcohol is one of the fastest ways to dehydrate the body, and dehydration is one of the fastest ways to make skin look older. When alcohol enters the system, it pulls water from cells and disrupts normal hormonal balance. This can lead to puffy eyes, redness, and a tired appearance. Over time, heavy alcohol consumption also damages the liver, which plays a major role in detoxifying the body. When the liver struggles to remove toxins efficiently, those toxins can manifest through the skin. Breakouts, dull complexion, and uneven tone often follow. Chwando doesn't completely demonize alcohol, but he keeps consumption extremely limited. By doing this, he protects hydration levels and allows his body to recover properly every night. But avoiding these 5 foods is only part of the equation. What truly separates Chwando Tan from most people is the consistency of his daily routine. Many people adopt healthy habits temporarily, maybe for a few weeks before a vacation or a big event. But aging doesn't respond to short bursts of discipline. It responds to years of repeated choices. Chwando has followed similar habits for decades. One of the most interesting parts of his routine is how much he values a no morning movement. Or he believes the body should start the day with activity instead of immediately sitting for hours. Physical activity boosts circulation, wakes up the metabolism, and sends oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. This improves both energy levels and skin health. His workouts often include strength training, bodyweight exercises, and moderate cardio. Strength training is particularly important as we age because it prevents the natural decline of muscle mass. Muscle acts like a metabolic engine. The more muscle you maintain, the more efficiently your body burns calories and regulates hormones. Another key habit is sun protection. Many dermatologists agree that sun exposure is one of the biggest contributors to premature aging. Ultraviolet radiation breaks down collagen and causes pigmentation changes in the skin. Wrinkles, sunspots, and loss of elasticity are often the result of years of unprotected sun exposure. Chwando is known for protecting his skin from excessive sunlight whenever possible. This simple habit alone can dramatically slow visible aging. But perhaps the most underrated factor in Chwando Tan's youthful appearance is his mental attitude toward aging. He doesn't obsess over getting older. Instead, he focuses on maintaining vitality. There is a big difference between the two. When people fear aging, they often look for quick fixes, miracle creams, extreme diets, or cosmetic procedures that promise instant results. But Chwando approaches health from a long-term perspective. He treats his body like an investment that compounds over time. Every healthy meal, every workout, every good night of sleep becomes a small deposit into that investment. After decades, the results become dramatic. What looks like a miracle from the outside is actually the product of thousands of consistent decisions. Another thing that stands out is how balanced his life appears to be. Many people chasing success sacrifice their health in the process. They stay up late, survive on fast food, and live under constant stress. Chwando seems to take the opposite approach. He prioritizes sleep, balanced nutrition, and stress management. These factors support hormonal balance, which plays a huge role in how the body ages. Scientists today increasingly agree that aging is influenced by lifestyle more than most people realize. Diet, sleep, exercise, and stress levels affect the way our genes express themselves. This field of research is known as epigenetics. In simple terms, it means your daily habits can turn certain genetic pathways on or off. Some pathways accelerate aging, while others promote longevity and cellular repair. Chwando Tan's habits align surprisingly well with what modern research suggests supports longevity: clean nutrition, regular movement, quality sleep, hydration, and low chronic stress. None of these habits are extreme. In fact, they are almost boring in their simplicity. But that simplicity is exactly why they work, because at the end of the day, staying youthful isn't about finding one magical secret. It's about removing the habits that slowly damage the body and replacing them with habits that support it. And that's really the biggest takeaway from Chwando Tan's story. Looking decades younger isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting your health so well that youthfulness becomes a natural side effect. So the next time you're choosing what to eat or deciding whether to skip sleep for another late night, remember this: the small choices you make today are quietly shaping how you will look and feel 10, 20, even 30 years from now. Chwando Tan simply chose to make those decisions wisely for a very long time. And the result is a 57-year-old man who still shocks the world by looking like he's barely 21.